Hello, thank you so much for being here. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today we're making ribs. Hope you can join me and come along with me and see how I make my Tinaraine ribs. So I have a slab of ribs here, and I find that my ribs is a little bit fatty. You see all that fat in there? It's a little bit fatty and I don't like that. So I'm gonna start by just, let's see how, I think this knife is a little dull too, by just slicing off this fat and getting as much of it off as I can. When I was looking for this meat in a supermarket, it was like, this looked like the best one to me, and this is not the best one because it have all this fat on it, but it was pretty fatty. So I'm gonna try to take off as much of this as I can before I do anything to it. Guys, I just cut off a lot of fat off of this thing. Look at the amount of fat that I took off of this meat. That's a lot of fat I put right here in the sink. So now what I'm going to try to do is, there's a membrane that's usually on here. I'm going to try to see if I can get it like this to pull it off. Look at all that fat. This was a fatty pig. God, this is pork. And sometimes it's hard to come off. I'm just going to take off as much as I can. I figure with the paper it'd be better to get a grip on it. Yeah. You can grip it better with the paper. I can just cut that off. You see that part right there? This part, I like to pull that off. I might just gotta stay here and play around with it a little bit until I get it off. But I will get it off. There you go. Sometimes it comes off really easy. You can just pull it. Another time, oh there it is. Another time it wants to give you trouble. It wants to give you trouble. But they don't know that. Oh, there we go. You get that off. You don't want that on there. There we go. Yeah. Came off the membrane. Yes, we don't want that on there. And maybe some more of this fat I can trim off. And I think that's pretty good. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut my ribs. So I went ahead and I started slicing these ribs up. You don't have to do this, but I like to do this sometimes. And separate the ribs like that. Pretty big piece of rib, right? So this is my ribs. It's all sliced up. Now over here, I have a pan that my ribs are gonna, these ribs are already clean because I washed it already. I have a pan and I'm gonna make a dry rub. So what I have here that I'm gonna do next is, my meat is already cut up and I have a dry rub that I'm gonna put together. So over here I have 3/4 cups of brown sugar right here, and I have my dry rub. In here I have a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, crushed pepper. I have a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I have 1 teaspoon of all-purpose seasoning. This is 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. I have 1 teaspoon of paprika, and over here is 1/2 teaspoon of, what is this, crushed oregano, 1/2 teaspoon of rosemary, and I threw a little bit of Tinaraine seasoning in here. So this one is not dry, but I just had to throw that in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix all these ingredients. Put that in there, and I just throw everything else in here. Throw all my dry rubs in here. Hopefully you don't throw them all over the place like me. Put our dry rub well together. Then what I'm gonna do is I'll take a piece of my meat and I'll just go in like that. And we're gonna coat both sides and then just lay it in our pan. I'm gonna do the same thing again over here with our dry rub. Coat all over. Make sure it goes all over. And then lay it in our pan. So I'm gonna continue to do this with all of these, and then I will put it in the oven. So I had to go get another pan because the one pan was not enough. I had too much for one pan, so I had to get another pan. And what I had to do again was make some more of the rub, because the rub that I made before was not enough, so I had to do the process over again to make a second batch for this one. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I have some covers. If you have foil, you can just wrap foil and make sure you wrap it tight, but I have these covers, so I am going to cover them tightly and put both of them in the oven for maybe an hour or so. And then, oh, by the way, what I also did, which I didn't do in this one, I think I'd forgotten, is spray the pan just to make sure that nothing sticks. And I am going to seal it tightly and put these in the oven and let them bake for like another hour or so, for about an hour or so, and then I'll come back and let you see what it looks like. So I left the meat cooking in the oven for an hour and 45 minutes. I left it that long because I wanted my meat to just fall off the bone. That's how I like it, falling off the bone, my ribs. So now let's open it up and see what it looks like. Yes, they're very tender. See that? Nice and tender. So we have this oil in here from the meat. So what I'm gonna do is, we don't need that oil, so I'm gonna pour that oil off. Okay, just a little bit is left there. That's good. So what I'm gonna do now, guys, is over here I have some barbecue sauce. I'm gonna add a few things to my barbecue sauce. I'm gonna add a little hot sauce, a little bit of mustard, and a little bit of ketchup, and I'm gonna mix this all up together. And then I will take my brush and put this back into the oven, and this is just going to take maybe as much as about 15 minutes just to brown, and then I will take it out. As I said, now I'm gonna put this back in for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then what I'll do is I'll turn it over on the other side, brown the other side, and then it's all done. I put those back in the oven. So what I did is I turned the stove up a little bit higher to grill. So because we don't need to cook them anymore, they're already cooked. So now they're high up. I mean, the stove is high up to grill, and they shouldn't take that long. Now I left this in for about 10 minutes, so now I'm going to gently turn them on the other side so that I can baste the other side as well. So you just got to be careful when you're turning them over, because you don't want, because they're so tender, you don't want to rip them apart. So you have to be careful turning them over. Yes, yes, that looks so good. Let me do the same thing. And guys, the good thing about these 4 pans, about cooking in these pans, is when you finish, you can just throw them away. You don't have to clean. You don't have to worry about cleaning them. Just throw them in the garbage when you're done. Okay, don't stick there. There you go. So now I'm going to put some more of my sauce on the other side and baste the other side. Yes. All this good stuff on here. Okay. That's it, guys. Back in the oven it goes for another 10 minutes, and then that's it. We'll be all done. Okay. So our ribs are all done. Look them over here. Yes, they look juicy and delicious. So this is how I make my barbecue ribs, and I will taste them for you. Oh. Let me just take a piece, break a piece off here. I'll taste this piece. So it's still a little bit hot, but ribs is something that you have to eat with your hands. There's no knife and fork for this. You just gotta hold it and bite it. So let me bite this for you. Guys, that is good. And this is like a finger licking thing, but I'm not gonna bother to lick my fingers in front of you. I'll do them after. That is delicious. Meat is nice and tender. It's juicy. Guys, this is just another way to do your ribs. And everybody knows to make ribs, but this is just another way. You put your rub on, and then you put your barbecue sauce on after, and it's nice. It gives it a different taste, and it's nice and delicious. So you can serve this with whatever you want to serve it with. Okay, I had fun making this, and I hope you have fun making the same thing for your family. Until next time, bye bye.